Sometimes when you hear of a case or see a case reported, it really boils your piss. A situation where a victim does absolutely everything that you're meant to do, that you're supposed to do. But because of failures within systems or processes or departments, that person still feels the wrath of the very thing they've been asking for help about. If you know this case, then you will feel the horrific injustice along with me as I tell the story. If you haven't heard of this case before, be prepared to feel very, very angry. This is the unimaginably unfair case of Lauren McCluskey, and this is Murder of Crows. Lauren McCluskey was one of those people who just seemed to be good at everything. Athletics, academics, friendships. As a young child, she was shy, but at just 8 years old, she broke 3 records in 3 different events on a single day at a Junior Olympics event. And this athletic ability continued with hard work reinforcing a seemingly natural talent. But she would never make a big thing about it. In friendships, she seemed more interested in hearing about other people than in talking about herself. Her parents, Jill and Matt, were both academics, and Jill was offered a position teaching economics when Lauren was just 18 months old. So the young family moved to Pullman in Washington, where her father already taught physics. Lauren, and later her younger brother Ryan, were raised in Pullman, and although she was shy, Lauren developed into a phenomenally talented young lady. But as her star grew, especially within athletics circles, she remained extremely close to her family. She had grown into a girl who was attractive inside and out. And while confidence was never an issue on the track, Lauren seemed to be unaware of her impact socially. And very soon she was approaching graduation from high school with a view to attending the University of Utah in Salt Lake City. Despite the surface appearances, Lauren still had a level of naivety. But Jill McCluskey was very keen not to be a helicopter parent, and give her daughter the space to develop and sort her own stuff out where possible. But with her daughter now settling into university life around 600 miles away from home, she was understandably anxious. Now, there were no issues for the first couple of years of college. She remained reserved and quite insular, with a focus on grades and on her athletics career. She didn't really socialise. Any time she wasn't studying or training, she was spending with her roommate, Alex. But as she was approaching her senior year, something seemed to shift and change, and the previously reserved and quiet young lady seemed to grow into herself, throwing herself into activities like karaoke and even stand-up comedy with relish. She was never reckless. Rather, she seemed more open to trying new things and having new experiences. While she excelled at athletics and academics, she was still very much learning socially. She'd never really had any relationships to speak of. But things changed in September of 2018. A new bar had opened on Main Street in Salt Lake City, and the old Lauren probably wouldn't even have known about it or heard about it. But for the new and improved Lauren, the red velvet decor and thriving dance floor seemed like an exciting prospect. She texted Alex about it, and they planned to pop along to have a bit of a nosy. Now, in keeping with her core of still wanting to succeed, they just wanted to go and have a look and planned to stay for just one drink before going home. The two dressed casually, and as they approached the front of the line to go into the bar, there came a meeting that changed everything. One of the bouncers that night was a man called Sean Rowland. And when he laid eyes on Lauren and she on him, there was an instant electricity. Once inside the bar, the girls moved around the busy environment, hoping to find a corner to settle into and just people watch, I suppose. But it was at that moment that Rowland appeared and shuttled them across to some open seats. And Lauren was instantly taken by this man who seemed to be looking out for them. Now, Lauren had never been impulsive when it came to men. But when they were leaving, she hastily jotted her phone number on a napkin and thrust it into Rowland's hands. Now, Lauren's excitement flowed into the next day, as she told Alex that Rowland had texted to set up a date for that afternoon. And Rowland immediately went on a charm offensive and treated her respectfully and romantically. She told her mum about Rowland from the get-go, and Jill could tell that her daughter was smitten. Lauren told her that Rowland was 28 and was attending a computer course at a community college. Now, Jill wasn't sure about a man 7 years her daughter's senior, and a man who was not strictly an academic, but at the same time she could hear in Lauren's voice that she was happy. So Jill decided to reserve judgment. But it wasn't long before Lauren's roommate Alex began to have concerns about the developing relationship. It seemed that Roland was always staying with Lauren, which struck Alex as strange for an older man who must have had his own place, since Lauren's room, and indeed bed, would have been very small. So why weren't they staying at his place? And then Roland began telling Lauren what to wear, and he seemed to get angry if she was late or if he ever did not know exactly where she was. Red flags aplenty here. Within just a couple of weeks, the change in Lauren was stark. She seemed to have lost much of the energy and radiance that she had been exuding, and she looked exhausted. But she would still not hear a word said against Roland. And it was at this point that Alex and a couple of other friends reached out to university staff, and in particular the housing office, to voice their concerns about Roland's possessive manner. But it was during an October break that Lauren took to visit her family back in Pullman that things became really alarming. While at the family home, she decided, as one does when one starts a new relationship, to look up Roland online just to be nosy. And what she found out shook her to her very core. First off, Sean Roland wasn't Sean at all. His real name was Melvin. Mind you, if my name was Melvin, I think I'd want to change it, to be fair. And rather than being 27, as he told Lauren, he was actually 37. And if those things weren't bad enough, she found out that Roland had spent 10 years in prison and was a registered sex offender for apparently propositioning a minor. Well, talk about a fucking shock for Lauren there. When she returned to Utah, she immediately conferred with Alex on how to proceed. Lauren obviously wanted to break up with Roland. Can't think why. But she wasn't sure how. And things were further complicated by the fact that Roland had borrowed Lauren's car while she was away, and he still had it. So she tried to break up with Roland, who, quelle surprise, first tried to minimize his previous wrongdoings, and then things started getting progressively darker. First, he just would not leave her room, and according to Alex, Roland would force himself onto Lauren sexually anytime she tried to get him to leave. When Lauren had planned to go to athletics training, Roland took her car to run some errands. And Lauren immediately tried to distance herself from the man. It was then that Lauren started to receive text messages from unknown numbers, all of which purporting to be from friends of Roland, going from vouching for the big guy to messages suggesting that Lauren should kill herself. Lauren assumed that these messages were from Roland messaging from different numbers. But the edge of menace in some of the messages meant that Lauren was worried about how she was going to get her car back. And she talked things through with her mother, Jill. And Jill came up with a sensible solution. Jill called the campus police with her concerns.
Please, security, open my Hi, I would like to request some help from my daughter, who's a student at University of Utah.
Okay. What is the situation exactly? What does your daughter need help with?
Okay. So she was dating someone who's not a student, and he has her car.
Sorry.
And he has her car.
Okay.
And he's supposed to return. She broke up with him, and he's supposed to return it to the parking lot at the stadium.
Uh-huh.
And I'm worried that he's dangerous.
Okay. We can definitely have someone help her out. Can you have your daughter give us a call?
Can you guys call her?
Yeah. What's her phone number?
Okay, it's So let me tell you just a little bit more. So he was lying to her.
Okay.
And he's actually a sexual offender.
Okay.
And lied about his age and things like that.
Okay.
And then he has her car, and he wants her to return. One of his friends wants her to return the car to the stadium parking lot at 5:00. And since it's fall break, a bunch of her friends aren't there, so I'm worried she's going to go there alone and someone's going to hurt her.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah. And you said the area code is. And what was her name?
Yeah. So she's an out of state. Her name is Lauren McCluskey. She was on the track team. She's an out of state student, and she started dating this guy there who's like a bad person.
Okay.
And she found out he's a bad person, and she broke up with him, and he has her car.
Definitely. Let me give her a call real quick, and we will figure something out, okay?
Okay, so I would just like someone to accompany her, because a bunch of her friends are out of town. I don't want her to go there by herself and have like something bad happen to her.
Definitely. I will give her a call. Did you want me to give you a call back or like,
yeah, if you could give me a call back, that'd be good.
Okay, what was your name?
Jill.
Jill?
I'm also 1042.
Okay.
Oh.
Perfect. It's gonna be okay, Jill. Let me give Lauren a call real quick and figure something out with her, okay? Because that would be totally easy for us to send someone with her. I wouldn't want her to going into a bad situation by herself. So
okay,
let me give her a call
you.
real quick. Yeah, no problem, Jill. I will give you a call back in a little bit, okay? Okay, thanks, Jill. Bye-bye. is this Jill?
Yes.
Hey, Jill, this is with campus police. I'm the person you spoke with before. So I just got off the phone with Lauren. I let her know that we had talked about the situation. I told her I thought it might be easiest if she just come hang out with us here at the police department and he can drop off the car here. Because that way she's hanging out indoors with us. I mean, it's good lighting. I don't know how
that would be great. That would be great.
She didn't seem thrilled about that idea. She said she would prefer it be dropped off at her dorm. I offered to send someone up to hang out with her. She said she would just let me know if she needed anything. So I got her dorm number.
It sounds like she doesn't want to change the plans that they already made.
Yeah.
So his friend made some plans, but I'm so worried about it that something's going to happen to her.
I did, and I don't want to do anything without her permission, but I did let her know, even though I'm not technically assigning someone, I am going to tell the security officers where she is and what time it's going to be dropped off. And I just told her up front, I am going to send someone to walk around that area while it's happening. So I gave her our number, I gave her my name, and let her know to call back, especially if the situation gets weird and she needs help. But I am going to send security officers either way just to walk around.
Yeah, she's dealing with a bad person who lied to her.
Yeah.
And it's hard because she was dating him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I know. I know exactly. That's unfortunately a pretty common occurrence on campus. So I'm going to send them, but unless she wants someone there or unless she wants to come down here, which I know that's weird for most young college students, but I did give her the option. That would be really easy for us, but I'll sell them in the area at least.
Yes, so thank you, and thank you so much that you're looking out for her.
Yeah, no problem, Jill.
Okay.
Give me a call back if you have any questions or need anything else. Again, you can just ask for me by name. I'll be here until 6 p.m., and I let your daughter know as well that if she feels comfortable calling back and talking to me, I'll be here until 6 after the drop-off.
So it's supposed to happen at 5, so that would be perfect. Yeah.
So campus security provided an escort for Lauren, who successfully managed to retrieve her car. But the problems had only just started. Having got her car back, the text messages from unknown numbers continued and became bleaker and more concerning. Several messages claimed that he was dead, both through suicide and also through a car accident, all of which were trying to tempt Lauren to attend a funeral. And worried about this escalation, Lauren contacted the campus police for advice. She was told that without any criminal action, there was nothing they could do. But on October the 13th, things took a further step to the dark side. On that day, she received a text from Roland blackmailing her with an explicit photograph that he had of her and demanding $1,000, otherwise he would post it online. In a panic, Lauren transferred the money through Venmo, then reported everything to the campus police.
University Police and Security, how can I help you? Hi, this is Lauren. I called a few days ago about a situation, and I wanted to kind of give an update and ask about some things. So it was like, we're basically, so...
Did you make a report?
I did not.
Okay, so you called a couple days ago about a situation you wanted to follow up on?
Well, I guess it's kind of a different situation, but it's related in a way.
Okay,
But
so you didn't make a report. Did you talk to a police officer?
So I had a security person drive me to pick up my car. Because I was worried about getting it. So what happened? What happened was that, so I got the car and that was fine, but from one of my ex's friends. But so he and then some other, I've been getting these texts from these numbers that of different people saying that they were saying that he was in the hospital and then saying that that he passed away. But then I got a text from him and he seems to be alive. So and then I got a text about asking if I wanted to go to his funeral, and I think they're trying to lure me somewhere.
So you got a bunch of texts seeming like they're trying to get you to go somewhere.
First it was just saying...
Okay, where did you receive the text
kind of
at? Where do you live?
So I live at...
Okay. And when did this happen?
So the latest one was today.
When did it start?
Yesterday.
At about
was
what time?
when they were saying that he was at the hospital. I think around 7 p.m.
And what time this afternoon was the last one?
Around.
Hello?
It was around 3 p.m.
3 p.m.? Okay.
Yes.
And this is all your ex's friends?
Right.
And are these just text messages?
Yes.
Okay, and are they threatening text messages?
Well, most of them, no, but, I mean, they've told me not to go at the club where he works, where he used to work.
Okay, and is there a protective order between you guys, or is he just an ex of yours?
Just an ex.
Okay. And are you trying to avoid him? Or not necessarily?
I would say it's more just his friends.
Okay, and have you asked them to stop texting you?
I have not, but I've blocked a few of the numbers already.
All right. I will send this through an officer to give you a call. He's going to give you a call on that last phone number that you gave me. Is that okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, perfect. I'll have somebody call you shortly.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Bye. University of Police and Security, how can I help you?
Hi, so I'm dealing with a situation where I'm being blackmailed for money. It's so a photo of me and my ex. They're threatening to send it out to everyone. And she's asking for $1,000.
And this is over text?
What did you say?
And this is over text message?
Yeah, well,
Okay, where did you receive the messages at?
Well, at first it was an email, and then over that app.
Okay. Where were you at when you received the messages?
Oh.
No, you're fine.
At my apartment.
Okay. Where's your apartment at?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, just give me 1 second, okay? I'm just trying to fill out my my paper.
Okay.
Hi, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, has this happened before, or has it been happening, or is this the first time?
This is the first time.
Okay. All right.
There had been some harassment before.
So it has happened before?
Not this particular type of thing.
Okay, but you have had involvements with this person?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you know who this is?
So it's Sean Rowland is the one messaging me.
And that's who?
Yeah.
Is he, what's your relation to him?
My ex-boyfriend.
Okay. Okay, and how long ago did this happen?
This morning.
Okay, do you know around what time?
The email was around 6 or 7 a.m.
Okay. All right, and do you know around what time the text came? I'm going to let one of our officers know, and he's going to call you. It may come from a blocked number. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that should be happening shortly, okay?
Okay.
All right, thanks for calling.
Thanks.
Bye. University 911, what is your emergency?
Hey, it's Cindy. She's got a case number pending, but she's receiving additional blackmail threats. She lives in Bill. This is all I got from her so far, but she does have a case number. She's on the line.
Okay.
So the case number is 18-1861.
1861? Okay. Okay, give me 1 second, okay?
Okay.
Hi, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, so I opened up your call from yesterday, is that correct?
Yes, you did.
Okay. All right, what's going on?
Well, I came in earlier today, and I filled out a report for the threat, or, you know.
You came into our building?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I called 911 because I was just concerned, and I wasn't sure. I thought
Yeah.
it might help speed things up. I don't know.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Okay. Yeah, if you call 911, the call will just come back to us and do the exact same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so...
Do you know... Sorry.
No, you can go ahead.
Do you know when an arrest would be made?
You can talk to an officer if you want. I can arrange that if you want that.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, is that all you're wanting to know? Or did you want to add more onto your report?
That's all.
Okay. Give me 1 second, okay?
Okay, thanks.
And their response was far from reassuring. They met Lauren and Alex in the lobby of the police station and spoke to her right there in the lobby rather than going to a private room to discuss the matter. The officers seemed disinterested and dismissive, and when she contacted Salt Lake City police rather than the campus police to discuss her concerns over her treatment by the campus police, Lauren was told that due to jurisdictional rules, they couldn't get involved and transferred her call back to the campus police. The same thing happened a few days later when Lauren contacted Salt Lake City police after she hadn't heard anything from campus police regarding her ongoing case. Lauren kept supplying more and more information about Roland and his background to the campus police, but was constantly hitting a brick wall of silence and inaction. Alex said that at this time Lauren was just getting more and more stressed about what might happen. On October the 22nd, Lauren got a confusing and misspelt text, apparently from the Deputy Chief of Campus Police, asking her to attend the police station. Feeling suspicious, Lauren called the campus police, asking about the text message, and they knew nothing about it. This confirmed for Lauren that it was Roland that had sent her the text message to try to lure her out. So she reported everything from that text to the campus police, and even though impersonating a police officer, as we all know, is a crime, nothing was done beyond Lauren just being told to ignore the message. Things were continuing to escalate, and Lauren felt very isolated, with the police seemingly doing nothing to address her concerns. At around 8 p.m. that evening, after a late class, Lauren called her mum so they could have a chat as Lauren made her way back to her dorm. And Jill was relieved to hear that Lauren was starting to sound like her normal self, talking about quizzes and assignments and generally sounding more positive. Lauren's dad, Matt, was doing yoga in the next room to Jill. But with Jill listening to her daughter on speakerphone, he could hear the conversation, and he felt similarly positive. But just as the call was about to start winding up, Lauren's voice changed tone, and they just hear her screaming, "No, no, no, no." Now, unknown to them, what actually happens is she drops her phone and backpack, and before anyone around can react, Roland throws Lauren into the back of a car and shoots her 7 times. Now, Lauren's parents don't know this, and Matt wastes no time in calling the campus police to report what he'd heard.
And she just started saying, no, 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 no. And it sounded like someone might have been grabbing her or something. My name's Matt McCluskey. My daughter is Lauren McCluskey, and she went missing tonight. And we reported it to the University of Utah police. She's a student there. And I just want to make sure that you guys know about that.
So we wouldn't really need to, other than her being listed, she would be listed as a missing person on the national database if you made a missing persons report. But
okay.
Otherwise, I mean,
okay,
there's not anything else.
So this is no. Okay, so this is more than that. She was abducted while we were talking to her on the telephone.
Okay.
So we heard her being assaulted, and we called the University of Utah campus police. And I'm just calling you to let you know that this just happened like an hour ago. And it's not just she went missing.
Was it they were in the Buick Lancer?
Could you please say that again?
Was it that they were in that silver Buick Lancer?
I don't know anything about a silver Buick Lancer.
Okay. Yeah, university let us know about it. We had our units. We notified them as well.
Okay.
Now, Lauren's phone call to her parents was still live, and they'd left that line open, and then a new voice came on the line saying they had found the phone and a backpack, but there was no sign of Lauren. Now, rather than run off panicking at this point, Roland made his way to a nearby tram stop and called a woman that he had met on a dating site and got her to come and pick him up. They went to dinner, spent some time at her home where he took a shower, and then he got dropped off at a coffee shop. How fucking cold can you get? At around 9:55 p.m, police confirmed that Lauren's body had been found in a car in the parking lot.
Melvin Rowland left his apartment, headed to campus in a silver Buick borrowed from his neighbor, and parked in the lot outside of Lauren's building. Surveillance video shows him outside at 6:26 a.m.
Lauren received a text message that morning from someone claiming to be Deputy Chief Rick McLennan of the campus police department.
Lauren calls me and she tells me that she got a message from a deputy chief saying that she had to come to the department now. She noticed that there was certain grammatical errors that were consistent that she had seen in the past, and we figured that was probably not a real deputy chief. She was very scared and she was concerned. She's like, what do I do? She said she was going to tell Miguel Darris.
According to Lauren's phone records, she called campus police officer Miguel Darris at 10 a.m.
She said, I've been receiving these messages. It claims to be the deputy chief. And I was like, oh, what's the phone number that he's texting you? And I told her, no, that's not him.
Here's Lauren 6 minutes later, entering Heritage Hall. A minute after that, she's walking across campus. And here's Roland 9 minutes later. He walks into the same building, looks around for a few minutes, then leaves. He goes back to her dorm.
Lauren McCluskey had no idea that on that Monday evening, back in October of 2018, as she was walking across campus, her normal routine, that her former boyfriend, Melvin Rowland, was actually stalking her, waiting for her outside her dorm at the University of Utah.
According to the police report, surveillance video shows Lauren as she was about to enter her dorm, and Melvin Rowland's feet can be seen standing several feet behind her. He steps toward McCluskey and grabs her. At 8:18, he can be seen carrying her north away from the door. This video was never released by the university.
Rowland carried her to this nearby parking lot, forced her into the back seat of his neighbor's car, and shot her 7 times. He's seen here 3 minutes later, making his way south through campus parking lots and across this bridge, ending up at a light rail station on campus.
All units on the shooting, the suspect is going to be a male, black, white hoodie, black jacket with white stripes, wearing a gray beanie and white shoes.
He was picked up at the station by a driver in a silver Hyundai Sonata.
And the police net very quickly started to close in around Rowland, and he was pursued to Trinity AME Church. After entering the church at just after midnight, the police found that Rowland had shot himself. Oh, what a brave man. In the aftermath of Lauren's murder, well, nothing was going to bring their daughter back. Jill and Matt McCluskey began a crusade focused on campus security, along with getting answers to why Lauren had not been better protected. University police did not check to see if Rowland was on parole when McCluskey had accused him of harassing her and extorting her, and of course he was on parole. And this could have led to a parole violation and a very rapid return to prison. More of Rowland's violent past was uncovered. An attempted sexual assault of a teenage girl in 2004. A 2012 parole hearing in which he admitted to raping the teen as well as 2 other women. A 2016 admission that he had threatened that if an agent were to come and conduct a field visit, he might become violent. In March of 2019, the Utah legislature passed a campus safety bill, partly inspired by Lauren McCluskey's experiences at the University of Utah. In June of 2019, Jill and Matt McCluskey sued the University of Utah for $56 million, arguing that university police officers failed to keep Lauren safe. And then a year later, the McCluskeys filed a second lawsuit against the University of Utah, arguing that school leaders, including housing officials, ignored Lauren and her friends' requests for help, and that the university had a history of ignoring women's harassment-related concerns. Finally, on the second anniversary of Lauren McCluskey's death, her parents reached a $13.5 million settlement with the University of Utah that resolved their two lawsuits. The state paid $10.5 million to the McCluskeys, and the university paid $3 million as a donation to the Lauren McCluskey Foundation. And the Utah legislature unanimously approved the payment, and the McCluskeys said that all of the money would go to the Lauren McCluskey Foundation. Since Lauren's untimely death, the Lauren McCluskey Foundation has become a force for promoting campus safety for students. And now, over 5 years after her murder, Jill and Matt McCluskey are still a major presence within the foundation to ensure that Lauren has a lasting and practical legacy. The way they have channeled their grief and pain into leading the way in ongoing changes in campus safety and security has been a testament to the love they still have for their cherished daughter. Their strength amazes me, and I send them nothing but love. I will leave links to the Lauren McCluskey Foundation in the video description. This video is, of course, dedicated to Lauren, who did everything right in asking for help, but who was let down by woefully inadequate officers and services. She would undoubtedly have been a star and would have succeeded in whichever direction she chose to go after graduating. A terrible, terrible loss. Thank you for watching another episode of Murder of Crows. I'm Steve. This is my orange paperweight Samson. And we will see you when we see you.
Say that you're ready, but you won't like it, you say